Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It feels like it's been a while. We are here with another episode for you of Long Time Watcher, First Time Writer. It's episode 55, and as always, I am your longtime watcher, King Fats the 95th. And as always, I am joined by the excellent First Time Writer crew, which includes Action Shakespeare,
55.
B Drops,
I got thrown off. Hello. I don't have a clever line.
and Iliendic Nonagon.
Hello, and welcome to Movie Phone.
What the fuck? What happened? What happened
What is
to
our
this
energy
intro?
today?
All y'all had to do is say 55. I'm just...
All you had to do was say
I
55. Or
I did not
hello.
know if it would be lame for me to copy you.
Yeah, same. I was trying to scramble my brain for like a special fun quote, and apparently that's what I came up with.
You came up with hello and welcome to Movie
repetition.
Phone.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry, everyone.
now that we're done bubble fucking our way through this intro, we're gonna bumblefuck our way through a
Bumblefuck
couple
our
of episodes of Kamen Rider. We're
I'm
doing
so
another...
excited.
Fantastic episodes of Kamen Rider. Thank you.
Yeah, some very good episodes. We're going to be doing episodes 29, 30, 31, and 32. Those are Crossroads, original air date August 20th of 2000. Fate, original air date August 27th of 2000. Retaliation, original air date September 3rd of 2000. And Obstacle, original air date September 10th of 2000.
I just want to state for the record,
Please do.
even though this really has no precedent on release dates or anything, by the time you hear this, dear listener. But for this first batch of episodes, I watched them 2 months ago and forgot. And I did not fix this. So I'm just going off of my notes and maybe gonna scrub through a muted while we're going along.
You might want to give a muted scrub there, Chief.
I might. I'm remembering a good chunk of it rereading the notes, but I don't know why I was so proactive, and a bunch of stuff happened also, like various bonus episodes that we already have recorded, and you probably have heard by now.
Most likely.
But yeah, it's so if I just seem out of sorts for this one, you understand. Please
It's
understand.
because Shakes' brain is back 2 months ago.
Legitimate.
And also, I
question?
feel like we recorded this already, so it doesn't help there either.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that's doing you any goddamn favors.
Legitimate question. Do you not need to scroll or scrub through the videos when it's like you watched them like a day or two ago?
Nah.
That's an extreme amount of superpowers that I have just learned that you have.
I watch my things, I get my notes, and then I generally don't because I want to just bust through it.
That's fair, but
I also just write down an excessive amount of things.
Oh,
fair.
maybe that's it.
Just a bunch of dumb jokes that I piece together back into my brain as the synopsis.
Yeah, that's kind of how I do it too. Like, I look at the note and I'm like, why the fuck did I write that? And then I'll look at the note before and the note after, and someone will say something, and I'll be like, oh, that's why I wrote that. Now I know where we are.
Which is so fun. I love that this is just a pretty universal experience for all of us.
Why
Yeah,
did I write this?
Universal.
Like,
Oh, why
have-
did I write that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a note for episode 30, and I'm curious why I wrote this. I can't remember. It just reads, "girl!" exclamation point in all caps.
Mm.
Oh,
There's a few
that's...
things. There's a few
There-
things that probably match up.
Okay, is it like near the beginning?
I don't know.
Is it near the beginning of your notes?
It's kind of in the middle, but I don't...
Hmm.
What I react to is not always evenly distributed amongst the episode, so
That's-
I could not
that's
tell you
very
where
fair.
in the episode that is.
Because I have a similar note, which I will be delighted to share when we get to episode 30.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
We should get to
Prior to
episode
that,
29 for
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I'm skimming and I'm trying to figure out where it might be, and I'm not 100% sure myself. Let's get into it.
We'll get
And
there
solve
together.
the mystery.
we're starting off with episode 29, Crossroads. Like I said, original air date August 20th, 2000. The synopsis of the episode being as such. Tsubaki tries to explain and warn about Yusuke's new upgrades, while a former problem prepares for a contest amidst a Grangi attack. So this one I believe this one we start at Tsubaki's office, which is fun. We love to start at Tsubaki's office because we love Tsubaki. At least I do. And we are checking out old Yusuke because he's been a little different recently. You may recall him turn gold now, which is a thing he didn't used to do. But it's a thing he does now.
We are in the thick of turning gold.
Yeah. We're in our gold era, as it were.
Yeah.
Yusuke is so gold-pilled.
There's also an incredibly important plot point that happens here, and that is that Yusuke has the frog glove again.
Has the what?
The frog glove.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm sorry, you're right. We don't
frog.
start with Tsubaki. We start with the rare Yusuke working.
Technically, we start on the fanboy.
Yeah, Grangi fanboy
Yes.
is back. I do remember that much.
Who I was
Grangi
like,
fanboy.
he's gonna stab himself in the eye and then stab other people, huh?
Yeah, they do a bit of
You,
an ambiguous kind of opening with him. He's working on a project, and then he just sort of pulls out his switchblade and looks at it, and then we cut to the intro, and it's like, how are you doing? What's up with that, huh?
why you got a knife, my man?
Yeah. Anyway, after that, it cuts to Pole Pole.
Yeah, where we get to see people working at the shop as we do.
We're talking about Kamen Rider and his gold rims, and
Yes.
how
Yeah, the
Red Kamen Rider
scrap-looking.
hasn't gotten his gold rims, and he wants action figures.
This is so delightful.
I do really enjoy how much Pops is a ULF4 fanboy. It's quite enjoyable.
Number one, if ULF4 got one fan, Pops is it.
Yeah.
I love it, even though there have been multiple times where Godai has tried to tell him that he is Kuga. Like, because he says Kuga and he never says ULF4, he never understands.
Yeah, nobody knows what the fuck he's talking
And yet
about.
he's still rooting him on right in front of him. He's still
Yeah.
cheering him on, and it's kind of sweet in a way. Also, he's going to basically kind of... His new recipe is a bit of a scam. He's just going to throw a gold leaf in his curry.
Okay, maybe it's a little bit of a scam, but I kind of found it like very charming and delightful that he's like, once ULF4 gets gold rimmed red, I'm gonna make gold curry. I'm just like, oh, it's kind of just adorable.
He's celebrating.
That's so sweet. Please make your recipe a little different, and I don't think people are coming to your little cafe for golden leaf.
I doubt it.
They are now.
I want to say that gold leaf is for him. It just happens to get him more money.
Yeah, that sounds
Well,
about right.
He probably loses money on the deal, honestly.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad business. Good luck. Anyway.
Anyway, everybody's showing up to Pole today. So Atari shows up. I believe John Whiteman shows up as well.
Yeah. with fellow recurring characters.
Yes. No, wait, I'm sorry. John Whiteman shows up at the school. That's right. Saratari is
With Mika.
still back at Jonan, yeah, and he shows up with Mika. Remember back when we
And-
thought those characters might not recur?
I'm
You're
very
full.
glad that not only are they recurring, but we do learn something really, really important about Mika that does carry on through future episodes, and it's that this girl cannot keep a secret.
So true.
Yeah.
So we do find out very briefly, just dropped in casual conversation, not necessarily related to the plot, that Jean now knows that Godai is Kuga because Mika just told him. And I
by
find
the
that
way-
really funny.
It's
Yeah.
it's very funny.
It's delightful. These characters are delightful. Oh my god.
We do have very good characters in the show. Also, I really appreciate that we had we made a point to have a scene where we essentially established here's who knows that Godai is Kuga, and here's who doesn't know that Godai is Kuga. People at Pol Pol don't know he's Kuga. The people over at the university, they do know he's Kuga. Fucked up how we would establish that, huh, Ichigo?
Yeah, right.
And 2 cops.
Yeah, and 2 cops.
Yes. At the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Spoilers.
It's so nice to get such clear answers on that.
Are we counting Anokita as a cop?
I guess
she
she's
definitely
affiliated.
knows.
That's a wonderful question. She does work. She's like part of like the police R&D.
I guess she's like part of she's
It is an institute of
R&D.
police
She's a civilian.
science.
I don't think she technically counts as a cop.
Yeah.
She's cop affiliated.
Yeah, she's cop adjacent. And yes, she does know that Godai is ULF 4, which comes up in a very funny way in a later episode that we will get to. But yeah, we're essentially we're kind of starting to lay some ground rules. We get a nice little exposition scene of the police chief talking with Enokita that is it kind of just serves as a way to tell the audience the stakes have been risen. We're in the next phase now. Things are going to become more danger ops and more serious.
I am doing a little bit of a scrub just because I was interested. And I did notice a fun little thing because they transition into the scene in a fun way where we continue to just very tinily keep enforcing the John Whiteman Enokita thing that is currently happening as it transitions into the scene from Sakurako pointing out that John was going to the institute like every day for a while, and he kind of goes like, huh. And then it cuts to her. Completely unrelated conversation, but they just start, it just cuts to her and they keep going. That's cinema.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
We love the cinematography.
Really sprinkling little things in here.
Yeah.
Speaking of sprinkling, we're gonna sprinkle in a little bit of evil in the episode now, because we're gonna hop to the Grongi. We're gonna figure out what the Grongi are doing this time around. So you know how we do when we're Grongi and we're meeting. We gotta be at some abandoned bar in some place in Tokyo. Mm-hmm. So we're meeting.
It's gotta be dark.
Yes, we're meeting in some dark abandoned bar once again. Where we are talking to our Grongi of the week, Kame Stone, and we're figuring out how he's going to be doing his Geguru.
Oh, right, the fucking mobster gambling den.
Yeah.
Grongi.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, fedora
so
ass.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious if this will have more significance or not.
I would have never guessed in 1,000 years what this dude's bit would be because he's just a little mobster man.
He's just a little mobster man.
And he's got like this little casino set up
Yeah.
for his like victim selection methodology.
He's got
I've never in a
roulette wheel.
million years. Never. It's silly.
It's
so
I still
silly.
don't even understand how it works. We'll get to it.
Don't worry about it.
But they do say that the numbers are getting ridiculous. His is, I believe, 567 in 72 hours.
Yeah,
is
something
his
like that.
Target, which is
even
absurd.
crazier.
It's
Out of-
insane.
Out of curiosity, I'm tempted. I'm really hoping that they'll give us a casualty number later on again in the series, because they gave us one like a dozen or so episodes back. It's been a while, but the populace of Tokyo was about 12 million in 2000.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how much
It's-
of a dent that the Grongi would actually put into fictional Tokyo.
I do remember that, like, given the count previously, it was like a little over 1,000?
Yeah, that sounds
At
right.
this point,
for
it was like
sure.
1,500-ish range, which is like not even 1%, if I'm remembering right.
It's true, but the numbers have really been escalating as their game
It's
has
true.
progressed. Like it used to be like, oh, you kill 20 people in a day.
No, 567 in 72 hours.
No, yeah,
Go
these
for
are,
it.
We're prepping for the semifinals. We're trying to
Yeah,
post up the big boy numbers now.
Yeah, we got Prince Grongi here with his fucking shoulder
Yeah.
lepulets, whatever the fuck those are called. And his sash.
Yeah,
Who is this dude?
he's the admiral of the Grongi Navy.
Yeah, for real. I wish he had a big hat, little big sailor's hat.
That would be very good.
It would be so cute.
Speaking of things that are cute, now we're actually going to be at the hospital. Now's that part what I said at the beginning, but I forgot because I'm a fool. But now we're at the hospital with Tsubaki, Ichijo, and Godai, trying to figure out, hey Godai, what the fuck? How come you gold now? And amazingly, what we have determined through our testing is, hey, I know I said this as a joke at first, but legitimately, I think giving you the paddles is what makes you turn gold. I think I electroshocked you into gold, and I apologize about that.
Sorry, bud. Also, your brain's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
also,
was always like that.
also your belt is connecting itself to your brain a lot more, so...
No, in a new way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
two
this-
mess ups now.
Yeah, they're fighting like two wolves.
You are gay.
Yeah.
But basically they are saying that the more he uses these newfound powers, they're beginning to affect his neurology. And Godai speaks about how, like, oh, you know, when I first used these powers, I started having this like impulsive thought of, oh, I need to get stronger.
He needed to become stronger, and the belt acquiesced because it got
Yeah.
turbocharged with lightning, which was a thing it didn't know it could do.
We're all learning things today, even this ancient belt.
Yeah.
Even this ancient belt.
They also. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just remarking. Please add your.
Oh, I was gonna make a stupid joke. You should probably go first.
No, I want to hear your stupid joke.
We all
I
want to hear
need
your
Yeah.
stupid
it.
joke.
Okay.
Rip it. Grip and rip it.
Well, they also say that Godai is starting to like become a biological weapon within the scene,
Mhm.
Mm.
and yeah, like that's all like well and good, but my first thought was I'm sad that Godai isn't bi, so I could make this joke be more accurate. But Godai puts the bi in biological weapon.
Who's to say he isn't?
Yeah,
Just
we
because
don't
he has a
know.
boyfriend.
He might be bi. You know, we don't know Godai's checkered past.
You know, that's so fair.
I'm sure there's a lot of gently broken hearts in his history as he travels the world.
I feel like Godai would know how to break up with you in a way where you feel like good afterward.
No, for sure, for sure.
I also think that Godai doesn't know what sex is. So.
Yes. We need to understand that these are both intrinsic truths.
Yeah, no, like I'm not saying he wouldn't be able to let you down. I'm just he knows exactly how to do it, but he also doesn't really know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, Godai pulls an insane amount of pussy with which he knows not what to do.
Mhm.
My mount is drowning in, and he's like, I don't know what to do with this.
Mm. I'm gonna keep riding my bike now
Yeah,
and
I'm
learning
gonna-
stomp.
I'm gonna go learn how to juggle. God, I can't not fuck him.
It's really
And that's
everyone who
what-
meets him.
Yeah,
All of the Japanese housewives of the time said too.
Pretty
so
much.
true, bestie. God bless Godai. What a protag.
What
Godai
a pro tag of all time.
Is great. And on a less joking matter, I think it's also just super incredibly cool in that edgy sort of way that the belt, just through sheer willpower, is like has the ability to just like transmogrify him.
Mm.
It's just like no, the belt's doing this because it has too much power, and then it can convert your willpower into biological weaponry, and it's just that's really cool.
That's cool.
I gotta
Yeah,
get me a belt like that, honestly.
Right?
I'm saying.
They'll be all like, no, shed your
jump
humanity.
into an electric fence.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll be all like, no, you're gonna shed your humanity. I'm like, that's part of it, you
Yes.
fool.
I fucking hope so.
I don't need this.
Yeah,
It's hotter this way.
We don't want this.
Listen, I appreciate the sentiment, but I didn't order this in the first place, so please take it back.
The human condition is just like if you get complimentary breadsticks, but the breadsticks have mold on them.
Yes. So true.
Damn, you figured out the one way to get me to not want complimentary breadsticks.
The only thing worse than finding out your complimentary breadsticks have mold in them is finding out your complimentary breadsticks have mold in them after you've already eaten 2 of them.
Oh,
Yeah, you thought it was a cheese filling, but it's not.
No!
Like, you ate 2, you pick up another one, and then you're like, oh, that's green, and then you pick up the rest in the basket to examine them, because you think, oh, maybe it's just this one, maybe it's just a fluke. Nope, it's all of them, and then you think, did I eat mold right now? I can't check, but I'm sure it's there.
And then the waiter is like, of course you ate mold. You had blue cheese with the breadsticks, and then you're like, that doesn't answer my question. It's not the foot.
And then I
Wrong
grabbed that
kind of
waiter
mold,
by
you
the
fucking
throat.
dick. Acting like you won't get the man grabbed.
Off topic. This reminds me of the time that I found a bag of Cheetos, maybe sometime in middle or high school, and I think it had been sitting somewhere for a while, like in my backpack or something.
Oh.
And I cracked that baby open, snack size bag of Cheetos. It's like, let's see what's this about. 100% of the Cheetos were green. like all the orange had just shifted to green.
Oh,
That's-
no!
Fascinating.
I was like, man, that's probably not good. I probably shouldn't.
Probably. You said probably twice.
Huh.
I considered it.
No.
No, please do not consider it. I'm
I
begging
didn't
you
do
not
it.
consider
Out of your hands.
This is over a decade ago. I didn't do it, y'all.
I'm traveling back
Yeah.
in time. I'm going to find you. I'm going to approach you. You're going to say, what is this old man doing here? And I'm going to slap this snack out of your hands.
See, the worst part of what would make that worse is if it was like the Halloween Cheetos. So you open it up and you're like, are these supposed to be green?
Ugh.
Ugh.
The
Well, I would just
stretch
eat
up of
'em.
Cheetos.
Well, moving forward in the episode, to somehow amazingly
Speaking of green.
something slightly less horrible.
Grim.
It's time to watch our turtle man do some murders.
Yeah. Guess how he does it.
I,
Guess how this man is gonna kill nearly 600 people in 3 days.
listen, I understand the mechanics by which he does the murder. I still do not understand the mechanics by which he does the targeting.
Easy. He doesn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
it's-
true. So
Game
my,
Shark.
my man spins the wheel. It works the way a roulette wheel works. If you've ever seen a roulette wheel in the casino, you know what it does. He gets his number. He gets told what street corresponds with that number. He's like, all right, time to go do my dark business. He goes up to the
Steps
roof.
out onto the balcony. It doesn't even have to leave.
Yeah. Steps out onto the balcony. He takes off the jacket, leaves the suspenders on, turns into a turtle. You see this turtle is blinged out with little ball rings.
Little balls
Yeah.
on his fingers.
He got balls on his fingers.
Adult mutant mobster turtle.
Villain and a half
So-
shell.
How do you think a mobster villain, like a mobster turtle villain, what do you think he does?
Obviously,
to
he's
kill
got
his
to leave him
host?
sleeping
Shoots you
with
with
the
a gun.
fishes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good guess, but
He has a bunch of snapping turtles, and he throws them at people. He throws snapping turtles,
that's a fun guess
mostly
too.
at children.
Man, his method, his actual tool would work really well for throwing people into the ocean and drowning them.
Yeah, it really was.
Is the crazy thing.
You could absolutely Mac the knife this shit if you wanted to.
But somebody in the somebody in the writers' room was just like, no, check this out. This is a superhero show. We got some crazy shit going on here.
Now what is it?
Well, you see all these tiny little balls turn into big iron balls, and then he hucks as many as possible.
No, not as many as possible. It's
sorry, he has a fixed number.
54.
Oh, is it always 54?
It was at least the
No.
two times that we get
54?
to count. It was 54.
Okay. Well, he hucks an average of 54 metal balls in that direction. And whatever he gets, he gets.
Is between you and God.
And his accuracy is pretty staggering. Let me look here for a second. They do give us our little chic Gurongi gives a statistic. Out of 54 launched, 37 direct hits, which is pretty impressive given that he just stood on top of a roof and threw a bunch of balls.
Or
spraying and praying.
Yeah.
actually, this is still taking place in Tokyo, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that impressive, or is that well, I guess they're direct hits. They're not collateral.
Yeah.
Because with
he
how
just
crowded Tokyo
nailed
is,
34 people.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a pretty
this is
high
balls to
percentage
forehead.
of balls thrown to direct contact.
Yeah, no, never mind. That's fair.
Better than I do.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he could be pointing at better streets, I think.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I
he's
feel
not
like
choosing them.
it's true. If he
Yeah.
got if the roulette wheel told him to like aim at Shibuya,
Yeah, I was
something.
thinking that.
The world ends with you.
yeah,
Die.
exactly. Like that's man. You ain't gonna miss. Like
Yeah.
there's too many people.
Yeah. right?
Anyone who gets out of the way is going to be replaced with someone else.
Let's go to Harajuku.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of anyone who gets out of the way, shout outs to our first potential victim, woman who refused to scream and warn anyone else.
Right.
I felt so bad
That
because
was
I
so
understand her
fucked.
panic in the moment, but what she does is she sees the giant ball approaching her, and she just gasps and she ducks. Despite that, there were two women directly behind her.
Right.
She cowers and then she looks back to see that these women are now dead because she dodged the ball that was headed directly in their direction and made absolutely no noise or warning whatsoever for these poor women.
Like, I don't even...
Not me, not today.
I didn't
She
even
was
need
reacting.
her to fucking grab the other ladies. I just needed her to scream.
Yeah.
And give them a chance at least, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the roulette wheel chose this street. It's because they knew this lady would be here.
Yeah, thankfully the women did notice her running off, but it was too little too late. She had like a full second where she was gawking at the balls
Really
and she was
did.
just like, "Whoa!" pointing up at the sky. I understand the complete bafflement though. How do you react to such a thing?
Yeah, what the
I mean,
fuck?
I
Is that a
kn-
giant iron ball? I better get out of here. If they don't see it, that's their fucking problem.
I guess, but like an oh shit at the very least.
Oh shit! Look
Yeah.
at that!
Oh, look at that. Something. Anyway.
Oh, damn.
Even a Hank Hill.
uh,
Whoa.
I suppose the word "run" would probably be a pretty good thing to say,
Yeah, for sure.
given that is what her immediate reaction is.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Literally any
wasted.
sound effect.
We got over 30 people dead now.
Yeah.
It's all your fault, lady.
It's, I'm blaming her.
No.
That blood is on your hands.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
At least those two.
probably
The rest of
literally,
them, not as much, but those two for sure. That's all you, lady. You could have done something about that, and you didn't. Kuga sees you, and he's judging you. This is a lie. Both.
He would
both
never.
Parts,
Never.
both parts
He
are a
would
lie.
never.
Kuga has no idea that this happened, and he would never judge you about anything. He's too good.
He would
He's
give
an
you therapy,
angel.
honestly.
He would.
Yeah. He would be like, "Good job surviving.
It was a
I'm
tough
proud of you."
situation. I don't know if I could have
Yeah.
done. I don't know if I would have made it out. You did good.
You got
Yeah.
the strength of a Kamen Rider. What's that? Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I never actually say it myself.
Yeah.
You ever watched the
That's
show
a-
in the 70s?
Yeah, like I every once in a while I think about this, like, yeah, this show's called Kamen Rider. Not a single damn person actually utters the word Kamen Rider in this Kamen Rider show,
You
which
know,
is very funny to me.
The funny thing is that is a thing that is kind of up in the air with various Kamen Riders. I think it's more common for them not to be called Kamen Riders Heisei Phase 1, but yeah, sometimes it's a crapshoot as to whether our characters are actually called Kamen Riders or not.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
The only thing that calls them a Kamen Rider is the intro song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they can't hear that.
Not
Mostly because I think if they
That
could, they'd be really confused.
What the fuck's a Kamen Rider?
Waking up in the
I know what a
morning, getting
cougar
ready
is.
for work. No fear, no pain. What the hell is that?
I actually do want to go back,
question it.
just for a quick second, since you mentioned the lyrics, and it reminded me that I have a note that is, that it's. I'm curious about the no fear and no pain line now, because at that same biological weapon scene, like there was a thing where, oh gosh, I forget the doctor's name.
Tsubaki?
Uzumaki, yeah. Just kind of off the cuff mentions, like, you should be in a lot of pain because of all the brain changes. And he's like, okay. Or Godai is like that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, he's getting, like, more immune to pain throughout this. And also, he's just in an impossible situation that he's just like, nah, this is fine. I'm not scared. So I'm like, yeah, that's all.
He has no fear. He feels no pain.
Yeah, it's the
Yusuke-
soul of Kuga.
Use cases, fuck fear, drink beer.
This is true.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Did you miss our Gurongi fanboy?
Yes.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
But I will say, I've never felt more sorry for the man than this episode and the next.
Truly.
Yeah.
Please lead us into the next scene if we're ready then.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're checking back in on our Grongi fanboy. He's on or no, I'm sorry. We're not on the bus yet. We're still back at home. We're finishing up our art project. We've made a very nice, serene, soothing picture of what looks to be a boy in a field that we're going to be submitting for a green tea commercial. That part I never really got, but sure.
He's doing commercial art.
He's doing commercial
I believe
art.
it's a field of tea.
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
And we see there's an explicit shot of the Switchblade amongst pencil shavings. So we get a continuation of that opening shot, and we see he's not up to nefarious things anymore. He was just sharpening his colored pencil.
It's
good
such a
things.
legitimately cute bait and switch.
It's so I really love it. Like it's such a nice little touch. Like this show is full of them, chock full. And also I would be remiss not to give a small PSA. Please open your windows or go outside to spray your sealant. I'm begging you.
I was gonna say, we get one of the most dangerous scenes in the whole episode.
Like
He's new.
Yeah, he's
You could at least wear a mask. At least,
Yeah.
if you're gonna pretend that you're good with, like, out ventilation, just do the thing where you cover your face with your shirt.
he's literally working in front of a window.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe it was
crack that
cracked.
thing open.
Preferably do it outside if you can, and then leave it in a ventilated area for, like, until it dries. But, at the very least, crack the window.
at the very
I'm going
least
to
crack the
line
window.
my lungs with plastic.
I would request you do not, unless you really want to.
Every time I seal my stickers, I do this.
Hell yeah.
Yummy.
The plastic man.
Love microplastics.
I love Plastic Man. Anyway.
Everyone does. So our boy Chono, he seems to have turned his outlook around a little bit. He seems to have a new lease on life. He's wearing brighter colors. in his little kind of creamish yellow shirt, which stands out against his dumbass neck tattoo that he still has. Didn't get that shit lasered off, did you, Cody?
No, he's doing the green
No.
tea commercial work so he can afford to do it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to erase his history. This is a reminder.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, so true.
But yeah, so
I love that he is wearing like a snow camo tank top underneath it.
Very 2000s.
yeah.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. God, that fucking stupid neck tattoo. I'm looking at it again just to remind myself. Oh boy. The things we do in our youth.
The things
There's-
we do in our youth.
I wonder if there's anyone who watched this episode and was like, I'm gonna get that neck tattoo. Or watched the series, rather, but...
The grungy fanboy.
I'm going
The
to
Gronky
assume...
fanboy.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that whoever may have thought that was probably too young to get a tattoo in the first place.
Probably.
Or
They were
pragmatic
mad
enough
about-
to have not gotten it on their neck.
Doubt that.
That's fair.
I doubt anyone that pragmatic would think about it in the first place.
It's a
So
shame. I
true.
think neck tattoos are cool, but they're just... In today's day and age, it's impractical to get one so visible.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unless you got
Oh.
some really good makeup.
Mm-mm.
Or you just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
That
or you're
too.
just, in a field that doesn't matter.
It truly depends on your occupation.
Mm.
Remote work.
Yeah, I think-
remote work.
I think the idea of tattoos being unprofessional sucks ass. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
I hate the whirl. I'm going to become grungy fanboy.
It's time. Get the neck tattoo, Shakespeare.
Yeah, I better get my neck tattoo.
Yeah.
So I can be just like him.
Mm-hmm.
And then
He's-
get a career in art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Seems-
would,
Yeah.
that would also be a change.
Let's do it.
I hope it is lucrative for you.
Well, probably not. Given how it went for him, probably not.
So true. But yeah, so we pop back in on Chono for a bit. Now is our police investigation phase of the episode, which the police really step up their game on this episode. I was honestly a little proud of them because they pretty much find this dude like immediately. Like they pinpoint his like approximate location off of like 2 attacks that he does, which is pretty goddamn good of a track record, all things considered, for the police in this show. Some of our other grungy have proven a little more difficult to catch.
Well, most of them, literally every single one of them, don't stay in a solitary location for their entire run.
You know?
So yeah,
So true, Busty.
this dude is asking to be found.
Like the first incident, they saw him on a rooftop and thought, "Oh my god!" And then the second incident, they saw him on the same rooftop and said, "Okay, let's go."
All right, get his ass.
All right,
Get this motherfucker.
Throwing balls off the roof. Stop that.
Yeah, come on, man.
This is just silly. You cut that out.
Silly. You're silly.
You stop that.
Yeah.
I love, on a sincere note, I love the competency of the police task force
Mm-hmm.
in this
Mm.
series. Especially, as you said, the like increased competency. I know it's easy to catch this guy because he's operating in the same place, but it really does feel like they're sort of, reasonably speaking, a lot more experienced with catching the Gorongi at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Love to see it. We're not just running in circles like headless chickens anymore.
Magok.
Yeah,
They're
we have
on it.
semblances of like modus operandi of a sort, which is an interesting thing to have to try and develop against the Grongi, because kind of the MO is that there is no MO.
Mm.
You know,
However,
it's from person to person.
I do find it really funny how baffled the police are every time they think about how the Gorongi have learned to speak Japanese.
What the
I'm-
fuck?
How did they, like, I don't, anybody can do it.
I mean, I guess. I suppose.
I feel like this is what you're getting stuck on, guys.
They signed up for the JAST program. Like,
Rosetta Stone, I don't know.
Yeah.
they're teaching Japanese in their schools right now.
They were the
Yeah.
first users of Duolingo.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
owl
why that
was
owl's so
groggy.
evil. Yeah.
That owl has to get enough kills. But this game is only if you can not do language exercises.
Fear,
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, translate these words.
But yeah, so we find Kame Stone pretty quick, so you know what that means. It's time for us to do a fight scene.
Woo!
So we get Godai on the scene. We're gonna go do a Kame Stone fight. I can't think of too many particular standouts from this fight that I would want to mention, except for maybe the finish. But I would be remiss if I didn't call out the part where Godai yeets him off of the roof and he fucking plummets like a goddamn boulder.
I have a very specific line for this scene.
Please.
Yamcha death pose.
True.
Just in the fucking crater.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just face down in the crater at the base of the building. It's great.
It's so good.
I just rewatched it. I'm sorry. I forgot it's like a CGI crater, too. It's like...
Yep.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's
Like
very
Wile E.
good.
Coyote shit.
It really is.
I know I've mentioned this like pretty much every episode, but the CGI in this is just so fun.
It's so fun.
Like there's the when Godai transforms and like he does like a knockoff Superman pose in blue form and just flies up to the
true.
building.
Yeah.
It's just delightful.
I must laugh at how easily this guy was defeated, given how he comes in looking like some mafioso. You know, he acts like he has some sort of presence, and he has one episode, and then he gets kicked into the dirt.
Well, no. Because this episode ends on a to be continued.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot
No,
he gets up after the Yamcha death pose because it feels like I should have killed him.
That's so fair.
You just replaced it in your mind with that.
I killed him in my memory.
Shit, boy,
That's
he
right.
died.
That's when
He
he,
did
died
survive. I'm so
spiritually.
sorry.
No, he does. Yeah, he does in fact get back up.
Extremely survives.
It was a death of character.
Yeah, oh for sure. Any credibility this dude had is in the goddamn turlet.
Turtlet.
Yeah,
The
turlet.
turlet.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So
on
fun.
account of those turtlets.
Yeah. Was there anything else we wanted to say about the fight?
I do want to point out at least the very end, just
Mm-hmm.
because this is like the first, like, you know, we get a lot of Grongi who seem to know who Kuga is, but there aren't too many who ever comment on what he can do. And this is the first one who actually does something like that. So the end of this fight is Kuga goes into golden purple form and tries to give this guy the big stabberino in the gut.
The big walk at you slow.
Yeah.
And just take a bunch of hits.
Tries to give him the walk up slowly and down smash. But the down smash part does not successfully kill this turtle man. And he drops Godai, and as he's leaving, he's like, "Hey, try another color next time, dumbass."
Idiot.
Old purple ass bitch.
Punch the purple out of you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which, like, it is interesting that, like, that's the first time we've ever seen someone say something to that effect to Godai from one of the Grungy. Which I think is interesting, at least.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you grow.
Wow, thank you.
There is some additional action that we should talk about during this action sequence as well. And that is our good friend Shona. He was on the bus. He's trying to go turn in his commercial for this tea job, and unfortunately the bus gets waylaid by traffic because up ahead is where Godai and this turtle are duking it out. And he's like, "Hey, I'm on a time limit. I gotta get this thing turned in before a certain time, or my entry won't be submitted." So he gets off the bus and he starts booking it on foot, which he attempts to do through a police barricade.
Yeah.
You can imagine how that goes.
Oh God.
Godspeed to him
Yeah.
in really caring so much about those deadlines, truly.
He fucking needs this job. It's all he has anymore.
I'm really... May I give a slight spoiler?
Please.
Very minor spoiler for the next episode. So he doesn't make it to turn in his art, and I just can't help but think, hey, there were major terrorist attacks that happened during the submission day for your commercial. Could you not extend it? Could you not extend this to maybe another day or two?
Doesn't he? Yeah, doesn't he straight up call them too? And like they're
He
like,
does.
nah,
He calls them in the
Yes.
hospital and they're like, "Nah, fuck you. You didn't make it."
no.
I think
Which
he
is
even explains on the phone that
ridiculous.
he got held up by a ULF attack, and they're just like, "We don't give a shit."
It, like doubly so because like once again we're kind of jumping into next episode, but
Not
like
that it's a big deal.
yeah, no, like Turtle Man just like kneecaps him on the way out.
It's so funny.
It's
Unlucky
so
for you to run
sad.
into me.
Yeah, what
Aw.
rotten luck to have run into me. Walks away, doesn't murder him.
Yeah, he's just give him a big fuck you.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
It really is very funny.
Shona really tried so hard.
Yes,
And he
he
got
has
so
both
far.
traffic and literally assaulted excuses,
literally-
and they're like, no.
He ran through a police barricade. There were literally like 4 or 5 cops
Holding him
trying to
back.
tackle
Yeah.
him, like saying, "No, sir, you cannot go." And he finally managed to break out of their literal grasp. They had him in their hands, and then he just gets all his ribs kicked in.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I just think that's really funny.
Gotta.
Shono, I'm
Oh, Chona, we're really into
Shona.
that.
Yeah.
Shono. You've
My
become
man.
a patron saint for us artists.
A little bit.
Yeah, this is just what being a professional artist is like, to my understanding.
It's so true. My whole upcoming week has been thrown in a blender. I'm going to be working such weird hours. Let's go, Chono.
Apologies.
Time to get punched in the ribs by a mutant turtle man.
I hope so. It would be a bright spot in my week.
Oh.
Oh, but it means you won't meet your deadlines and they won't accept that excuse.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that's not.
Yeah.
You
That's
gotta
not good.
pick your rewards better, be. Everybody wants to get punched in the gut by a turtle until it fucks up their deadlines.
It's true. It's true.
I'm always saying this.
You know, I can't
that a-
say I want to be punched in the neck or gut by a turtle.
Really? Well, what would you prefer to be punched in the gut by?
Yeah, you got a preference?
I mean, if we're sticking on like even Kamen Rider stuff, I think being punched in the gut by Kuga would be more fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that cheating?
Maybe a little bit.
He'd hold back.
He would.
Yeah.
Oh.
And probably wouldn't. Also.
Yeah, if you're just a
probably just-
regular ass civilian, he probably
He's
just
not
wouldn't.
gonna do that. It's Yusuke. He's a good boy.
Yeah,
We have to turn evil.
the human golden retriever. Go die, Yusuke.
Yeah, I suppose if you start killing some kids,
Yeah, there you go.
like you can.
Let's earn our
I-
Get a go.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
Jesus.
start punting.
Yeah,
I suppose I wouldn't be opposed to being hit in the gut by Pops either.
You know, fair.
Yeah, all right. He might.
He might.
All I need to do is not pay for the golden curry.
There you go. Yeah, try the Dine Dash on his ass.
Say
I
some
feel
shit
like-
about ULF4.
God, it does.
Yeah.
Or one of those old actresses he really likes.
Everyone, I have an announcement. UF4 sucks.
I've come to make an announcement.
Yeah. I couldn't commit to the bit.
You know, 4 pissed on my fucking wife.
And then you'd make an enemy of Pops forever.
Yeah, and also Ichijo.
Also, yes.
Can't have you going around spreading that shit about his boyfriend.
Duh.
Yeah. So yeah, we're a decent chunk into the next episode now. So we might as well.
This is basically how it all began.
I mean, yeah, really, yeah. This is the beginning of the next episode. One thing to point out is, upon losing his fight with Kame Stone, Godai does get knocked out. So we are going to have to send him back to the hospital. That's twice in one day, Godai. Get it the fuck together.
Yeah, come on.
Which I
We
suppose
can't kill
is
these guys.
impressive.
Yeah, really, actually, in hindsight, was,
Yeah. That means you recovered once already.
yeah,
It's a revolving door hospital.
very true. But yeah, so Chono gets hit by our turtle man. We get Godai back into the hospital, and so while we're waiting for him to recover, we're gonna do a little bit of police investigating. We're gonna check out this bar, try to figure out what the fuck exactly
What?
why him have roulette wheel. We also follow up on a thing that was started the previous episode. After their little conversation, Ichijo mentions that it might be pertinent to reach out to Sawatari and give her the rundown on what's going down with Godai vis-a-vis his whole becoming a human weapon. So after Godai gets submitted to the hospital, we get to see Tsubaki and Sawatari have a little conversation about that. The changes that are happening to Godai's body as a result of that time he pretended to die and his doctor did his job. Y'all remember that? Good times.
Can relate.
Can't relate. If it were me, I would simply die.
Yeah.
But this leads to a little reunion of sorts with Godai and Tsubaki and Chono. By which I mean Chono's unconscious ass gets wheeled in as Godai is leaving. Because Godai, we've essentially spent an episode and a half establishing that Godai is getting much stronger now. That includes his fucked up recovery speed. Godai now is healing in even less time than he would have traditionally. I think Tsubaki makes a called shot for his wounds would take someone 5 months to heal, so I think he'll be good to go in 3 hours. And probably what is a grand total of an hour and a half after Godai got submitted to the hospital, he's up and running.
Mm.
Yeah, they do a little jump scare where they get back to the hospital room and the bed's empty and you think, oh no, Godai ran off with his injuries. And then he pops out from behind the little privacy curtain and he's like, hey, what's up?
I love Godai so much. He's a fucking 4-year-old. He's like, I'm gonna hide and I'm gonna scare my doctor when he shows up.
Boo. Which is exactly a normal thing to do to your doctors that I'm sure they would all love.
Yeah. They'll just go
Godai, dude.
you little rascal.
You little why you. Fucking
Um,
Godai, man.
I have to say, brief aside.
Mm.
Just dialing it back. Continuing on a thing B brought up. We did have a brief scene with John Whiteman sing Enokita. Basically for the function of, I think Mika wanted to He brought Mika, first of all.
Yes, yeah.
Mika wants to thank
show Mika the
Enokita for
Goron.
things. Oh yeah. We're gonna show her around John Whiteman bringing a child into a lab full of things. Mika immediately says, "Hey, John said you were really hot," and the scene ends.
Basically,
An
yeah.
awkward exchange of looks for
It's
like a fourth of a second.
So awkward.
Mika's
And then we
just-
And I'm like,
move
Mika,
on.
What? Mika,
yeah,
you
it's just
can't say that.
it's
Also, the
exactly how you
grungy-
wrote about her. She's really pretty. It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Just spilled the tea all over the goddamn floor.
Okay. there's no good way to respond to this anymore.
Yep.
I feel like the most graceful thing you can do is accept it as a compliment, or I guess kind of laugh it off and pretend it didn't happen. What a weird
Yeah.
position to put someone in, though. Just be like, hey, that said you're hot.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, bye.
If I was John Whiteman, I would have died.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would have
just
dropped dead
You just-
instantly.
Yeah, that's the
Turned
thing, is
into
you would
goo.
have had the absolute correct response, which is you would have just self-immolated. Just fucking caught fire immediately, gone up like a goddamn Roman candle.
You know, I have unlocked a memory in my brain,
Ooh.
and I think there was a time in like middle school where a girl walked up to me, quickly said, "Hey, this person thinks you're cute and you should go out with them," and then walked away. And my response was just one of confusion. And then I didn't. How do you respond to that?
Right, yeah.
You just kind of keep going about your day because it's like, okay. And if that person was there,
Oh,
whew,
that'd have been... Fuck.
yeah, no, I'm just like, oh, okay. And then I walk down the stairs and go home because I was leaving.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna do my best to leave your life forever now.
Yeah,
Like,
God
That
dang
is-
it, Mika.
yeah, Mika, why would you do that to John Whiteman? And also Enokita, if we're being honest.
But
Like,
that
there's-
exchange was also fun.
Yeah,
It was fun, and just to be clear, if you're not watching Kuga, which we still all totally recommend that you do,
Really,
Yeah,
seriously.
there is no impression that Mika is doing this to play sort of wingman for them.
Nope.
She just can't keep a secret.
Yeah.
She just says stuff.
She well and truly, she is just saying shit. It is fucking, it's like a word recognition game.
It's like a
She's
Twitch
such a-
chat.
A child with no filter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enokita comes up on screen and the chat just fills up with woods. Shut up, chat, shut up! Shut up!
Fucking John Whiteman streamer.
John Whiteman live stream.
I want to see John Whiteman's
What
live
is he
stream.
doing?
What games would he play? Would he play games?
It's
Life
like, yeah,
simulators.
Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
Is he just restoring artifacts? I don't know.
That's half of it. That's like, Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays we restore artifacts, and on Thursdays we play The Sims.
And on Sundays, we play Euro Truck Simulator.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it reminds them of home.
I think John would play VNs
Oh, for sure.
on stream.
Yeah, what a weeb.
He would
I'm
like
sure.
live translate visual novels for people.
Oh,
That would
my
actually be
God.
really nice.
Honestly.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
I actually
service I
would.
would love to commission him for, frankly.
Hey,
Please
wanna
translate this book for me also
Yeah.
while you're at it. I have 11 more.
I'll give you $2.50 as in I'll subscribe.
Adequate compensation.
Yeah, really.
All you need to do is translate an entire visual novel.
Yeah,
It's probably longer than the
150,000
Bible.
words.
Yeah, it's a Journey to the West visual novel.
I would play the
I'd
hell
play the
out
fuck
of
out of
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
me
kidding
too.
Fuck, where are we?
I did go back in time for this aside.
Yeah,
Also going back in time is the Grongi playing poker with coasters with perfectly round cards.
It's fun.
Playing the alien
It's
poker.
The poker's so gay they can't even have straight line cards.
True.
Just like the
It's
Grongi.
You know, I was gonna say we're always talking about how the Grongi are so incredibly gender, so
Yeah.
stands to reason.
What was last? We talked about Godai pranking,
being a child.
and then they bring Chono into his
Yes.
room, right?
Yeah, Chono comes in. They have a brief aside of it basically amounts to Godai and Tsubaki recognizing Chono, and then Godai looks at the art that he does, and he's like, "Oh, I like this. It's soothing." And then he
I've
leaves.
never felt such peace. Looking at this drawing.
Such tranquility.
It's
This
beautiful.
was my intention.
I think Godai could definitely use a little more tranquility in his life these days.
So fucking
And-
true.
Oh.
I wish Chono was conscious to hear Godai praise his art. I think it would have meant the world to him.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of find out later that in fact it would have, had he been conscious for that.
Yeah.
But we will.
Should we?
Well, we'll get to that in a bit. We gotta let Godai head out and go try to hunt down this this turtle. You know, we gotta make sure we deal with Kamen Stone. We get a pretty fun fight scene here because just before this fight scene comes out, we get our boy Ichijo equipped with the new extra powerful anti-unidentified life form, the anti-Grongi bullets. But these ones are, they're so fucking strong that we're trying to develop special guns so you can use them, and those guns aren't ready yet. So Ichijo's just going to be raw dogging it in the regular old rifle with the insane kickback because he's fucking insane.
Mhm.
That's a way to phrase it.
It
Yeah,
sure
right.
is.
Ugh.
Listen, Ichijo's a badass, and he doesn't give a shit or a fuck, and that is made even more evident by him going fucking full on Japanese sniper on this fight, and
Yeah.
It's
just
so cool.
Yeah.
popping
I
off
love the
every
support
single
play.
one of this dude's like ball chain accessories. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
God, that shit did extremely rule.
It was dope as hell. God bless Ichijo. I like that Ichijo is continually having like more and more of a presence in the actual combat. That is something that is very cool, especially since he is essentially our Taki contemporary. Because Lord knows Taki did more and more of his own fair share of fighting. So it's cool to see that happen with Ichijo as well. Especially because like a good chunk of the show is just sort of how the cops are not equipped to deal with the Grongi, which is why they have to rely on Godai. So the fact that Ichijo is still willing to get in there and mix it up and be like, listen, I'm not going to just sit on the sidelines forever. I'm gonna try and do something if I can. I'll be damned if I'm just gonna sit here and not do nothing. And I appreciate that about him.
Yeah, it's continuing the theme, and I've been told that this is rather common throughout Heisei Phase 1, and probably for the rest of it, let's be honest, but about the side characters actually doing things and having a character, and it's just, I still am not over it, clearly, because I'm bringing it up once again, but like, it's just so nice.
It's very nice that our side characters are characters.
Yeah. I was able to come back, and instead of like the breaks we had with Ichigo, oh god,
Cool.
Instead of those breaks that we had with Ichigo, where it's just like, oh yeah, these are the characters. Oh, hello, dog leash. Oh, Goro's gone. It was like, oh my god, these characters, yay!
Yay! Always happy to see
Yippee.
John Whiteman on the screen instead of just being like, oh, John Whiteman, I forgot he's in this show.
Yeah.
When I see John Whiteman, I point at the screen and clap.
Yeah.
sincerely though.
Yeah,
A little bit.
Only a little bit, yeah.
He's just such a sweetie.
he's just a guy.
He gets so many like this is upcoming stuff, but he gets so many like sitcom entrances.
He really does.
I clap and I
Like
cheer.
I am truly waiting for the live studio audience to clap when I see him enter in some scenes because
Jean!
that's how he enters in a lot of them.
He has his entrance into Pol in this episode is very much like that.
A little bit. He has one in a future episode that is even more so.
even more
but
so, yeah.
this one is extra funny because it's just mostly him and what's Pops' niece again?
God, what is her name?
Oh, what was her name?
We've all forgotten. It is.
It's
Been 2 months since we've done anything.
Mira something?
Anyways, her
Anyways.
Yeah,
and John Whiteman finally meet in person. And they
Yes.
go, and she goes, "Hey, you're that white guy."
And he's like, "Hey, you're that weird bitch." See, I can
That's
be
literally
weird
my
too.
note. My notes are just, "Hey, white motherfucker," and "Hey, weird bitch." That's it. That's the scene.
Hold on. There's one more important thing that happens in that scene, which is Weird Girl does in fact interrogate a child about whether she's in love with the good guy.
That's I see now that that's what my girl note is about.
Probably,
I'm
yeah.
Screaming at her.
Girl.
Girl,
Yeah.
what are
because-
you doing?
She grabs Mika by the shoulders when she asks whether Yusuke is at Pole Pole, and when she's told no, this grown woman grabs this child by the shoulders, and her eyes go wide, and she says, "Are you in love with Yusuke?" This little girl's like, "No,"
Good. I don't
Well,
have to
this little
destroy
girl's
you.
like, "I'm 8."
and I'm like, "Girl, what's wrong with
You
you?
could have a little more class.
A little more class.
Please."
She's in love with Yusuke. A lot is wrong with her.
Even
True.
even if this little girl said yes,
She would annihilate her instantly.
Yeah,
are you? This is a child.
It'll
This is not
Throw her through the
competition.
door.
it'll look
She
like
would
he
be
was
like a
thrown in
shocker.
that motherfucker.
13-year-old little girl.
Just drop kicked her straight through the door.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Please stop. Her family's still in mourning.
No,
Yeah.
you don't understand.
They can't lose another one.
Yeah. Her
This-
dad just died like a month ago.
God, yeah.
And she hasn't had a cheeseburger since, so she really needs to beat up a kid, okay?
She's jonesing.
No,
Yeah,
please.
I got the shakes. Anyways. Those are all fun asides. We did kind of start talking about the final fight scene.
Yes. So interspliced with the final fight scene, is we get to have a fun conversation, as it were, between Tsubaki and Chono,
Yeah,
which is
part two.
basically Chono being like, "My life sucks and I should have died back in episode whatever the fuck," and Tsubaki being like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! How dare you say that shit to me?
Yeah, how
Fuck
dare you fucking say that?
I love Tsubaki so much.
He gets
What
so
a great
Hit me,
Oh,
character.
motherfucker.
man.
Does that feel good?
Yeah.
You feel like a big man?
Yeah, you feel like a big man."
You're a bitch. You'll
Tsubaki
always
is
be a
so
bitch.
Cool.
Tsubaki's the best. I love Tsubaki so much.
Now keep
And I
drawing,
just-
you asshole.
Not only is Chono really down on his life, but he takes to basically chastising Yusuke by saying like, "Oh, that guy, he's got these cool powers. He gets to go out there and he gets to have agency and fight all the monsters, and how lucky he is. Isn't that cool? I wish I were him, but instead my life sucks. I bet his life's great. I bet he feels great." And of course this leads into Tsubaki being like, "Hey, I have no clue why you think he enjoys this.
Yeah, how dare you speak that shit in my sacred house?
Yeah, what is wrong with you?"
This man is a nuclear bomb. I
Which-
don't think you understand.
Yeah, no, a very
Speaking
fun
of-
and common bit in Kamen Rider of, someone having to explain to someone else that, like, hey, homeboy ain't out there getting his ass whooped by monsters every day because he likes it. He does it because he has to, because it's important to him to do, not because he wants to.
And truly. And Chono has the audacity to be like, oh, he's out here smiling like an idiot.
It's because he's a hero.
Yusuke.
The notion, I love this notion too, because Tsubaki is just like, he takes a hit to his own face, and he's just like, yeah, does that feel good? Does hitting people feel good? Imagine doing that all the time.
Literally nonstop.
Chono's like, no.
It's so true.
It's so true.
Fighting is fucking hard, dude.
It sucks.
Do you
it's
understand even a little bit? Like, let's put the monsters aside. Imagine having to do that all the time. To your
To
hand.
the death.
Yeah,
Like,
to
these
the
aren't
death.
just like boxing matches. He's literally killing all these people with his bare fists. Well, they're not bare, whatever. You get what I mean.
Yeah,
And sometimes weapons.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the point still
Yes.
stands.
I know I'm being...
We're being mean to Chono, but Chono is being
Mean to Godai,
Really?
so.
outrageous.
Getting to school to hard knocks.
And then, yeah, after that whole berating, like, Tsubaki just leaves it on. Oh, by the way, Godai saw your picture. He said it looked soothing. And Chono's like, oh, he said that? Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe look at your own picture and then comment.
Yeah, maybe you should take a nap and then look at your picture and you'll feel better. Meanwhile, someone is about to feel a lot worse, and his name is Kame Stone, because Godai's had the time to think about, well, how the fuck am I supposed to kill this guy? Because Perp don't do it, which means Blue ain't gonna do it, and Green don't do it. I only got one more. I haven't golded red.
He's got a couple options, because his first thought is, hey, you seem built like a truck.
Yeah. I know a guy.
To which Kamen Stone says, I am unfuckable. As he just rides the front of that bike for like 15 miles before getting thrown into some boxes.
Yeah. Truly, you can't. Truly, you cannot penetrate this turtle.
Wow.
Oh, right. He sends him into a warehouse full of gasoline. Probably blows the fuck up, but that's not enough.
Yeah, no, so it's time to do what we thought might work. An idea
God.
that we kicked around in the previous episode that Tsubaki was like, hey, maybe don't do that, because that seems like it would be dangerous.
No, yeah, this seems like real bad. You're gonna blow up.
We're going to take red and
going
we're
to
going to
do it.
turn it gold.
Wow.
And we are going to rider kick the dog shit out of this man.
We're going to rider kick the dog shit out of the planet Earth.
Yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
rider kick the dog shit out of everything in a 3-mile radius.
3-kilometer radius.
Which, do we get a casualty count on this?
Nothing.
0.
Low.
No,
Yeah.
it's hurt.
I forgot.
Don't worry about it.
There are
But
no
for a
fucking
moment,
casualties.
but don't worry. For a moment in this episode, you still get the most insane episode ending to a Kamen Rider episode you ever did see, in which Kamen Rider kicks a man and it actively nukes a small area.
The local area literally is engulfed in a giant ball of flames, and you think, hey, Godai told Ichijo that they might want to clear the area out. How far did they take that? Like the neighboring
Yeah.
streets? Or
Yeah, like this is flat out a missile strike.
It
Multiple.
really is.
My initial note was Kamen Rider fights one turtle man, no survivors.
It's
So funny. Also, a bunch of what the fucks and holy shit. Because
Yeah.
we were losing our goddamn minds as he nuked an entire area. 3 goddamn kilometers
3
explosion.
kilometers, and our death count is like
One turtle man.
179 panes of glass. Yeah, and one turtle man.
He's trying to get that Jackie Chan police story
True.
record. He's gonna get all that glass.
Oh, God, fucking Christ. So since we're pulling stats from it, we'll go ahead and segue into the next episode, 31, Retaliation. There's not like a ton to talk about for this one because it is largely a recap episode.
Oh
on
God,
the
it
Gold
is
form.
the other recap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this episode is recapping the gold form, and then our grasshopper motorcycle guy is finally gonna do his game. So we're prepping for that. But the beginning of the episode is Godai and his sister at Pol working,
Yeah.
and they start having a conversation which is updated or is interrupted, I should say, by a news broadcast about Godai fucking up a 3-kilometer area.
Don't worry, folks. Nobody was hurt.
Yeah, luckily there were no casualties.
There just happened to be nobody in the area. There probably wasn't like a homeless guy or something. I don't know.
Apparently not.
No
Well,
official.
Not that they would have found the body.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we got fucking annihilated. Turned into dust.
Which also I feel says a great deal for what Kuga itself can withstand at this point.
Yeah, that's true, because he is in the center of that explosion and he just walks
the
out fine.
epicenter. He's he's fine. Don't worry about it. It was his attack. There's no friendly fire. He turned it
Yeah,
off.
it's
Yeah.
I like. I'm remembering now that this is a recap episode, and I was definitely kind of like thumbing through it at the time. Actually, we might have watched it all just because I was watching it in a group, and we were just like, whatever. Here's the update on the gold.
that's fair.
But I did write down. It all started when Yusuke got life-ending head.
So true.
Fully remember why.
Road dome so crazy almost crashed the hippopotamus.
Oh yeah, it was the mushroom, right?
Yes, it was the mushroom.
Wowie.
Have you ever been kissed by an NB so androgynous it poisons you?
Also, the next note was
Unfortunately,
instead
no.
of the framing device of this episode is instead of fighting a lion man all day, Yusuke has to do his job.
Yeah, heaven forbid. It does lead to there is a fun conversation that does happen part way through this episode, where Ichijo is at the police station, going over things, and Sugita, and I'm upset because he comes up a bunch of times, but he's the one whose name I don't remember.
Is he the bald one?
No, not the bald one. The other cop, the younger looking short haired one.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that dude.
I remember his name, but him and Sugita show up and they're talking with Ichijo about everything that's going on. And they're like, "Hey, isn't it time you introduced us to ULF number 4?" And I wrote, I was like, yeah, isn't it time you introduced us to your boyfriend?
Which is literally my note for that whole scene.
Yep, same here.
No, shut up.
Yeah, stop it.
Stop.
But yeah, luckily there's not a ton to talk about for this
And their
episode.
continental breakfast.
Delicious. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he shows up with like fucking a plate full of bread.
Yeah.
He's so much. It's his character quirk.
Yeah,
I guess.
my man
breakfast.
loves bread.
He's
Yeah,
got the bacon and eggs too, but yeah, this dude has 4 rolls.
Yeah, but
Oh
It's
shit,
a
that is
whole
like
plate full of bread rolls.
that's
and the way
me.
he goes at that breakfast is he grabs a piece of bread, takes a bite, takes like half of a fork full of egg, and then keeps eating the bread.
Yeah.
My man
I
knows
am-
what he wants.
This is absolutely me in like in high school.
That's so
Like,
fair.
or really elementary through high school. I fucking loved bread back then.
I love bread now. I'm right there.
I mean, I
with you,
still
man.
do. Yeah, I'm in there, but like I definitely hold myself back.
So only
I had
so
a really
much,
good biscuit this morning though.
Oh my god.
jealous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
There
some
you go.
bread
That's
after this
my food
recording.
report.
Hell yeah.
I probably
Everybody
need
go
some.
fuck up some bread after this recording.
Or Teddy
we'll-
Clams.
Yeah, or some Teddy Grahams.
Mm.
And we'll go ahead and skip on ahead to the last episode for this particular batch, which is episode 32, Obstacle. Which this one's just kind of about our grasshopper motorcycle man doing his gege and us trying to figure out how we're going to stop him, because he has picked a particularly fun way of murdering people. He has decided that since he has adopted the Iron Horse of the modern era, he is going to go around and pull people off of their iron horses and then run them the fuck over.
It's
Yeah,
so
he's on his
silly.
X Games mode.
Like, I was not expecting him to just be like, no motorcycles. I'm going to destroy them all.
Yeah, I will kill every
I'm-
person on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I shall be the only one.
If you like bike stunts, this is the episode for you.
This is virtually all this episode is.
Yeah, this is pretty much just bike stunts the episode, and Godai blowing up a 3-kilometer radius was a PR disaster for the cops.
It super was. It super was.
It super was. Like, so much of this episode is just dedicated to them being like, what
Oh
are
my
we
God.
gonna fucking do?
We can't associate with this dude. He nuked a 3-kilometer radius.
But we
Nobody
can't
wants that shit
fight
again.
the Ulfs by ourselves. What the fuck are we going to do?
That you all for is a menace.
Yeah, I want pictures of
Ellie's note of evil Kamen Rider, whose name I will not dedicate to memory. It's right in front of me, and I'm still not going to say it.
Go
Fair.
back.
It's not. No, it's evil Kamen Rider.
No.
Ellie's comment to this entire storyline because this dude like keeps like showing up and making a real big point of being like, hey, I'm just like you. So this is our wrestling section. Ellie's comment was, this dude is just Kip Sabian to Yusuke's Orange Cassidy.
Oh my god. Holy
Just shows
shit.
up out of nowhere and starts stealing all his shit and pissing him off.
Yeah, really. Literally just I'm you but evil. Wow.
Neener.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm out here, I'm doing it real evil style.
Oh, right. Yeah, because the thing he distinctly does is he's like standing atop a building and Yusuke's like, what the fuck? And he looks up and he just flips him a thumbs up. He's like,
Yeah. He's like, get your ass up here, bitch. Let's do it.
it's my thing. You can't take my thing.
Evil rider, evil thumb.
You can't fucking do that.
I think it's important to note that also right after he does that, he also almost runs over Ichijo.
Yeah.
But just doesn't.
He's
Yeah,
too
no.
needed.
Well, because Ichijo wasn't on a bike. Why would you go after him?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
game has specific rules. You can't
Yeah.
just do that. He's gotta knock him off first.
My notes read, wait a minute, or run Ichijo. And then it's like, oh wait, never mind, he just left. And then run Godai to chase evil Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
It's like the Predator, you know. As long as you're
Yeah.
not like an active combatant, it will ignore you.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But with bikes,
Yeah.
my other idea was that this dude should have come out with Grongi t-shirts and belt buckles.
God. I'm on Redbubble, they sell hundreds.
Oh, I'm sure.
He should have just arrived at Pol Pol, just like looking him dead in the eye.
Ordered the curry.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been a lot of fun, actually, if this was the whole case of, like, actually the one Grongi that cared about his identity.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with him.
That would be really good. Especially because a lot of the Grongi like to talk a lot of shit about, like, I'm gonna be the one that kills Kuga.
Like, literally every single one of them think
Yeah.
they're gonna do it. It's really funny at this point, including this dude. Like, we'll get to it next episode, but man, the degree which this dude takes that idea is the funniest
Oh, for sure.
so
Yeah.
far.
My man Babe Ruths it in a major way. I'm trying to think of... I mean, truly, a lot of this episode is just kind of watching this guy murder people.
Which-
Yeah, he's got the most reasonable goal.
Yeah, he really does.
Well, it's, I guess not really. It's 21 in an hour, which means basically this episode and I think the next two take place within the span of an hour in theory.
Not the next two, just the next one.
Okay.
Was it
But-
really 21 in an hour?
That's what I wrote down.
It's
Just
something
like-
fairly small, yeah.
Yeah, it was,
And-
it was
and it
definitely relatively
seemed-
small. I remember that.
It was like, this is really small, and it was like, but this is also a grossly inefficient way to murder people.
It
But
is.
somehow he keeps getting it done.
Yeah, the fucked up
like-
thing is he almost gets there.
The time dilation is actually like non-existent because, you know, like in the 20 minutes it takes to watch this episode, he gets pretty fucking high up there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
There are a
have
lot of... Oh, go ahead.
I have a small question for those who don't live in a very small area like me. Are motorcycles that common?
It depends.
Because I don't think
it's
I've
Kamen Rider.
Ooh.
I don't know if the vehicle demographics would differ in Japan.
I suppose
truly,
that's
because
fair.
cars are less common over there
Mhm.
than they are over here. But
Yeah,
I
especially
don't know.
where B and I are specifically. We live in car country.
We live in SUV and truck country.
Yeah, really.
I haven't even seen like 21 motorcycles this year.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Everybody's riding them, didn't you know?
I would say the thing for our area is if you do see a motorcycle, it is decently rare to just see like one motorcycle. There'll usually
Yeah,
be
right.
like a group of them.
You get
Yeah,
the
they travel in
gangs.
packs.
Yeah.
Woof, woof.
And it's interesting that these were all solitary kills.
Yeah,
Yeah, every single one of them.
yeah. He didn't find a group of Hell's Angels and just really, really rack up them numbers.
Yeah, just
That
like
would've
Kara
been
slide
very
into
cool.
God, weaponized Akira sliding would be exactly the kind of thing a Kamen Rider villain should do, and
Absolutely.
I'm shocked I haven't seen it. Maybe it exists.
Maybe. Yeah, I can't think
Maybe.
of an
There's a lot of Kamen
example off
Riders.
the top of my head, but yeah, there's a lot of Kamen Riders. Never say never.
I
I
should have
think-
been Kamen Rider split.
I think it was also this episode where I kind of was reminded how violent it is.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like this has a higher death count, and some of these deaths are not, or a lot of them aren't like just normal deaths. They're like cruel and unusual, and I'm like,
Yeah.
if we showed this, it could take it from a kid's show to NC-17 real quick because the themes are already there.
you think that about this episode?
I mean, it wasn't specifically for this episode. It was for like another episode that I was writing this, and something else happened, and I was.
This is a brutal show.
Yeah.
Boy, do I have egg on my
but
face
I-
after that writing. But
I'm sure it's going to ease up after this.
Surely.
yeah, sure. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the worst it gets.
that's
Yeah,
how.
This
for
is the
sure.
worst it gets. Trust
Keep
me.
watching.
Everyone at home, please trust me.
Mhm. Trust that he is lying. Or not.
Just to kind of go back to this being sort of a surprisingly violent way for people to go out. Not that couldn't be said about a lot of the way Grungy murder people. special highlights to the other Grongi that ran people over with some form of motor vehicle. Because, that shit was entirely fucked. But, like, a lot of these kills that you do see him get are him running someone off of a bike, and then them trying to get away on foot, and, like, hiding somewhere, or trying to hide somewhere, and then getting run over by him.
Yeah.
They really make a point to draw out some of these horrendous murders that he does.
Like, they chase him
makes
through...
it all the more shocking that he's getting it done so quickly.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
They chase him through an alleyway. Like...
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
There was one that's like under an overpass where it's like...
Yeah.
Where he's doing like ramps off of it, just kind of going like, "I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you."
I think that's the
like,
first one that we see this episode, actually.
Before just landing on him.
Yep.
I can't remember if it's this episode or not, but we get one that's just like that chases him into an alley, and then the guy tries to hide in a shed, and then he just
That's next episode.
Okay, yeah. Then
that's next episode.
I will save it, but like that's another one that was just like, huh. You could just throw some paint on there and up the H count. Okay.
Real easy, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one more thing that we should talk about this episode, and that is kind of the other main crux of this plot for this episode and the next one that is the continuation of it that we'll be talking about on our next episode of the podcast. So the main thing is, he's going around on his motorcycle. He's doing all of these motorcycle murders. Obviously, Godai has a motorcycle of his own, but Godai's bike is not quite there. It is not quite able to cut the mustard.
Not feeling so good.
Yeah, it's definitely not doing so hot because, hey, what do you know? Having an entire giant metal beetle's worth of metal placed on top of you and then removed from you multiple times a week and or month kind of fucks up your bike a little bit. But the Tri-Chaser is just not quite up to snuff. But that's maybe okay, because the Police Science Institute has been developing a new, cooler, better, faster bike called the Beat Chaser that the police are not letting us give Godai because he blew up a 3-kilometer area.
Because aforementioned PR nightmare.
Yeah, because aforementioned PR nightmare... ULF4 has been denied access to cool new motorcycle.
Oh man. Oh beans.
Yeah. So a not insignificant chunk of this episode is kind of just the conflict of Godai's bike not being able to cut the mustard, and mentions of, well, we've got this cool new bike that we could maybe give him if the cops will let us. And we are currently, but by the end of the episode, we are in a position of the cops probably aren't going to let us.
Oh, man.
Beans.
Also, this is an incredibly small nitpick.
Hit me with it.
But before I go into an actual topic of conversation, we have a scene that is, instead of a shot, reverse shot, it's more of like it just cuts out a little bit, so just like a shot, and then a reverse. And I found that delightful.
Love to shot, reverse.
Yeah. It's just, the cutting was so weird for like one shot, and I love it.
You'll love to see it. Shakes, I heard you
Is this the conversation with the police chief?
Yes.
Or... Yeah, that's not an uncommon thing. It's a good way to mask a new take. To just have like kind of a punt, like it just kind of closes in on him a little more and then goes to the reverse.
Like, yeah, but it's like at the same angle, and
yeah, no, I mean that's what I mean.
I suppose that's fair.
It's not uncommon. Now that you've seen it, look for it.
Look for it.
Well, I usually see it like in lots, or I usually don't see it in other places.
It works for
despite...
documentaries.
Yeah, I think the fact that this is a scripted show is kind of what threw me off.
Yeah,
but either way, I like it. I think it's fun. But I would also like to ask, on a more conversational bit, does anyone think Evil Kamen Rider looks a bit like Kamen Rider Shin from 1993's Shin Kamen
A
Rider?
little bit.
Tiny
A
bit.
touch, yeah.
Yeah, I was curious if any
Like
of
they
those,
shaved him.
Yeah, just shaved him and gave him a
They-
little bit more metal bits. And I was curious if that was kind of like a direct thing. I think it would be fun.
You know, it might be. It very well might be.
Because, like,
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's been in the ideas pool, existing for what was that? 96,
93.
93.
93,
So
so
longer.
7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I'm sure, like that was probably looked at to a degree. I was just like, oh yeah, fucked up Kamen Riders.
Yeah, we got a
What
little
if we
bit more
looked
of an
more like a bug?
hero.
Love when my Kamen Rider looks a little bit more like a bug.
Makes them a little scarier. It turns
Honestly,
out.
Yeah.
Love an Ukus McSpookus Kamen Rider. It's my favorite flavor, really. That being said, I think does anyone else have anything they specifically would like to go back and cover over any of these last 4 episodes?
I mean, we
okay.
we have the things leading up to the next episode. We have government spooks are starting to bug Enokita. Because of aforementioned PR
Your
Nightmare.
Nightmare Kamen Rider, yeah.
PR Nightmare Kamen Rider. Shit's being taken real serious. We got higher ups in the government going like, hey, y'all
be
are
fair, I'm pretty
involved
sure
in this
these
and we
guys
want
were
some
Still cops. Or
we want
unless
some,
you're
I mean, yeah, but they're higher up in the like government hierarchy of
Yeah.
cop business. Like they're still associated with police HQ, but they're the dudes who deal with the police and the police. These are like the real cops. Whereas the police in this story are allegories for justice and public order. These guys get to be the cops we know and love
yeah.
that hassle you.
We love being
But,
hassled by the police.
And then we get a cool
oh.
bike trade fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fucking Meta Knight thing where he just leaves the bike and waits for him to take it.
True.
Evil Kamen Rider's bike is so good. Oh my god.
It's the bike of darkness. It's
Like
fucking
of darkness
funny.
that he stabs to transform.
Yeah.
Oh, edgy. I love
Does
it.
not get old. Also, this wasn't what I was originally going to bring up, but since we just got here naturally, this area at the end where they were doing their fight looks so familiar.
Oh
This-
god. No, you-
The seaside terrain.
I mean, I'm certain we've probably used it before.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
like, are you implying we have maybe fought some Ichigo battles in the seaside terrain?
It's
'Cause I
quite.
believe
I don't
it.
know. It looks like it. It truly looks like the same scenery that we've seen in a few of those fights. I hope it is the same location. That would be fun.
It would be. I wouldn't put it past them in the slightest.
I also
Um,
can't tell because I have areas, especially when the ocean isn't shot, I have areas that look quite similar to this where I live, so it's extra familiar, I think.
Wow, I didn't know
They
they were
shot
shooting
this
Kamen
one.
Rider in your neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, no, that's don't tell him, but the new Kamen Rider, Kamen Rider, Revice, it's the remake of Revice because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's long enough. You
Yeah.
know, Hollywood is.
They were gonna go with like Kamen Rider Pilot, which is the one of Rebuild, but then they're like, well, no, because we need planes for that, so they just go with Revice.
Okay.
But yeah, they're filming that here, so keep on the lookout when that NDA lifts.
Yeah.
Now that I've been there, I can say that Maine really is the Japan of the America.
Yeah.
Easy for you to say.
I'm so curious as to why, if we don't mind a little extra tangent.
This is a fucking joke. Move on.
Oh, this makes so much sense.
We do jokes here sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Every now and again, we are known to do a bit.
Sometimes people are like, "Wow, I didn't know that about you," and I'm just like, "Really? I thought I told you." And then they're like, "Yes, you did. I was joking."
I understand.
Oh, no, the God.
completely.
We
Thank you.
I've done the same thing.
Appreciate you, B. Thank you.
Sometimes you just never expect anyone to remember anything about you.
Or
Don't
sometimes
worry, we will remember
That
things
wasn't meant
about
to
you.
be sad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, sometimes you just think people have wild takes. Like,
Too
I know how
late.
my brain works. What if other brains work similar? And then we've got a problem.
I'm always saying this.
I did have one quick comment about it's cool how many people are being roped into this at this point. This being Kuga's inner circle, people who know that Godai is Kuga, and we roped Sugita into this.
Yeah.
Which feels so good because
It's so
Sugita
cool.
was one of the original people vouching for ULF4.
Mm-hmm.
So that felt good. I enjoy that he's in on this now. I'm very curious how many people will know by the end of the series.
A very good question.
My guess is everyone.
Yeah,
That would be
the
cool if it was
entirety of
just public.
Japan. They'll raise their
Yeah.
hands and give him power.
Yeah.
I'm going to cheer for you.
Yeah. Cheer on Kuga so he can blow up the final Grungy.
And also all of Japan.
Yeah.
In one...
And
Well, the cheering will, dampen the explosion. That's
No,
how
it's
that
fine.
works.
He'll just find the Grongi balls and we'll wish everybody back.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But he already killed Batman.
Oh no! The dark.
No, he already
ending.
killed the turtle. Damn it. That was
There it
that
is.
joke.
No, I
He's
got
the
it.
turtle man. He's got the balls.
Yeah.
Just like the thing. Anyways, that's the episode.
Yeah. Hey, y'all motherfuckers ever watch Dragon Ball? Anyway.
Pretend I'm leaving.
As Shakes walks away from this episode, Forlorn, we would like to thank you very much for joining us. If you want to hear more from the podcast crew, you know all the places you can find us. You know the Twitters, you know the Twitches, you know the streams, you know the etc. You know where to find us and what we're doing. We hope that you have had an enjoyable episode. We hope to see you again for next episode, number 56, which is going to be a little bit shorter than the norm. We're going to be doing episodes 33, which is the final part of the weird kind of not really, but yeah, 3-part episode of our Grasshopper Man here. And then episodes 34 and 35. I pulled up those names. Let me get those real quick. Those are going to be Cooperation, Tremble, and Emotion. So please check those out. So you are ready to talk about them with us. Follow people on their various socials and things. We hope that we will see you again in the next episode. We hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, please remember, if you can't believe in God and you can't believe in Buddha, you can always believe in Kamen Rider.
Thank you for listening to another episode of A Long-Time Watcher, First Time Writer. If you enjoyed the podcast and want to help us out a little bit, you can head on over to the Patreon. Everything there is entirely free, but it functions as a tip jar if you like what we do and are able to support us. As for us individually, if you want to check out our random rambles and potential other projects, you can check out our social media links down in the description. And finally, there is an actual play OVA tabletop game, which is currently being run by one of our wonderful editors, Wurtzy. Two of the players are our wonderful co-hosts, Action Shakespeare and B-Drops. If you want to know more, you can head on over to @HarborTales on Twitter. Thank you very much for joining us for this podcast episode once again, and we hope to see you next time for when we talk about how good Kamen Rider Kuga is, and as we do an in-depth, deep dive discussion on which Kamen Rider Kuga and Kamen Rider Ichigo characters would stab you if you asked them to.